Hey everyone, today we are doing a deep dive into the Voyjoy brand that is found on Amazon. Now, I really procrastinated doing this video for one reason and one reason alone, and that is that I recently gained about 15 pounds and I have been super self-conscious about it and really haven't wanted to put my body on the internet. So I'm doing it anyways. I'm just going to put it out there because I have spent a lot of time wearing these clothes and I really do want to review them regardless of how I'm feeling about my own personal appearance. A couple of weeks ago, I did do a little bit of a deep dive where I talk about Amazon Activewear and the role that influencers play in doing things like commission links and how I think that influencers aren't necessarily always being completely honest about how they feel about the quality of the activewear. So for the past 3 or 4 weeks, these clothes have really been kind of my main activewear pieces, regardless of how I feel about them or how I felt about them initially. I did decide to go ahead and wear them on a continual basis. I don't see a lot of review videos where people have actually worn them for extended periods of time before they give their honest review. So I really wanted to do that. I've been wearing these items running. I've been wearing them to my lagree classes, and I've also been wearing them in the gym. So I've been able to gather my thoughts, and I want to share my opinion on what I think these items are best for, what they do work well for, if they do work at all. So today the brand we are covering is Voyjoy. It's a very popular activewear brand right now on Amazon, very reasonably priced, and a lot of people are going for their scrunch butt leggings. And then they also have some tanks with built-in shelf bras, so I really wanted to test those out as well. So I have 2 different outfits from them, which I'll put on and kind of walk you guys through. All right, so this first set is from Voyjoy. The top right here is the Voyjoy high neck sports bra. And right now it's $19.98 on Amazon. Normally it's $25, and that's what I paid for it. And then these shorts right here are the Voyjoy 3.6-inch scrunch lifting gym shorts, seamless yoga biker shorts. And these are $19.99. Now, these shorts do come in a solid color as well as a couple of different tie-dye prints, and both the top and the bottoms are in a size small. These shorts I actually do really enjoy. Normally, I'm really mixed about a 3.5, 3.6-inch short. When it's really short, it is absolutely going to scrunch up. There's nothing you can do about it. And then the bra, I do find that it's mostly comfortable. When I first purchased many of these items, they fit much differently when they were right out of the box than after I washed them. I did wash them in cold water. I hung them to dry just to give them the best chance possible. I didn't want to be too aggressive with the wash and wear process. So the back of the bra does have this nice little strappy detail. It does dig in just a little bit right around my lats. The issue that I have is that if I loosen it or something like that, then I don't get as much support in the chest area. And for someone who is a larger chested girly, I do find that I need as much support as possible. I would give this about a medium support, honestly. It does hold me in really well. I do find that I like the high neckline. It doesn't really cut into my collarbone at all, which I really appreciate. There is just a little bit of that discomfort factor right here in the lat area. And I would say that that's my main complaint with a lot of these sports bras is that there's just one area where, especially on the spaghetti strap style, they really kind of dig in. And I wish there was a way to mitigate that discomfort factor factor. The bra does have removable cup pads, and I find that the cup pads are sufficient. Preferably, I wouldn't have any cup pads at all, and I have actually taken these out to wear them to work out in, and I do find that I have a decent amount of nip coverage in this fabric and color specifically. I don't think I would be able to get away with it if it was any lighter of a color. So for the sports bra itself, it almost feels kind of like a wetsuit material. It's not quite that, but that's probably the closest I could describe the fabric as. So it is very thick, and there is an element to it that does feel a little bit cheap. So with a lot of these workout items from Amazon, they're made of kind of similar materials. It does hold on to scent just a little bit, though it's not bad, but I will say it does get very warm. So this sports bra with a normal sports bra, it wouldn't make me sweat. It wouldn't make me feel too hot, but especially when I'm at the gym and I'm lifting, I do start to sweat a little bit more than I normally would. Now, as far as the shorts go, I do really like them. The scrunch butt detail here is actually really nice. I was a little worried about kind of the sphincter scrunch look, but I actually really like the way they feel. And it is a high waist, I would say medium to heavy compression. And with the double thickness waistband, you definitely get more compression around the waist, which is nice. And so I do really like this material. It's a little bit thinner than the sports bra material is. So I'm a big fan of that. I don't feel like I overheat or anything. Now I am used to wearing shorter shorts to run in and everything. So for me, when I wear these shorts, I feel like I can run in them. They don't roll up any more than like a Nike Pro would roll up. But when I am wearing them at the gym, I do get a little bit annoyed especially when I'm doing like leg day or something like that. Obviously, they do roll up. There's really nothing you can do to prevent that except for to get a longer short. So that's just something to keep in mind. So overall, this outfit, I do really enjoy. My biggest thing is that with the sports bra, it's just a comfort factor. And I would like to see some more elements going into the strap design where there is a more elevated comfort level. And I don't think I would harp on it as much, except for the fact that I've noticed that most of the Amazon sports bras do seem to kind of just cut in one way or another, and that seems to be a recurring theme. This next outfit I've got on is just a little ensemble that I put together. Right off the bat, I don't know if you can tell, but the shorts and the wrap top are two totally different colors, and I was worried that I had accidentally ordered two different colors, but I did double check my order history, and the top and the bottom are in black cherry. One of my biggest complaints so far when it comes to ordering from these affordable brands is that there are oftentimes not the options to get matching sets. So right off the bat, one thing I will say is that the two materials are totally different from the top and the bottom. I will put up what the materials are made out of, but it's clearly a very different construction. So that could be part of the reason why the color match is not good at all. If you're going to tell me that a color is in black cherry, I'm going to be expecting to receive an outfit that is the same color, both top and bottom. And that's just not the case here. It was $24.99. Now there is a coupon price for $19.99. It does come in several different colors, ranging from extra small to extra large, so not a huge size selection there. I do like the construction. I like the material. It's a very stretchy, high performance material. It doesn't feel too thick or too heavy, but it does feel durable and high quality. I will say it does hug the arms quite a bit, so I don't necessarily think that you could size down just because specifically of the arms being a little bit on the tighter end. I've actually worn this top the least. I've only worn it once or twice, and that is because I find that the shoulders seem to want to fall off. And I'm not sure why that is, if it's just poorly designed or what, but it just feels like it's gonna fall off of my shoulders and it doesn't fully go up like a top should. So that's my biggest complaint and part of the reason why I haven't worn it, just because there's something about it that just doesn't fit quite right. And I think that's really the theme with a lot of these Amazon activewear pieces is that there's always one feature or one aspect that just is off. When I'm comparing these against other activewear pieces, my main kind of comparison would be Target or Walmart. I do have a lot of their activewear pieces and I've been buying from them for many, many years. Places like Academy Sports have really affordable activewear. So most of the pieces in my closet are within this $20 to $30 price range. So I think it's fair that I should judge it according to those other pieces and how well those pieces fit and work for me. So I will say it's decent, but I probably would return it if it was still within the return window. I just don't see myself using this on a regular basis. I think that I probably would have been able to use more of like a cottony, like stretchy material. And I think that the India one, from what I understand, is a little bit more like that. So I might like that better. And I'm planning on getting one of those to compare it against this and give my honest opinion. But this is just a bit of a weird piece. I do like the quality and the construction because it feels more durable. But I think having a high performance material for something like this is just not very necessary. So it is a cropped fit. You're obviously going to be showing stomach. So it's not a full length wrap top by any stretch. And then you can kind of just see how it's wrapped around in the back. The next item on the proverbial chopping block is this Voyjoy women's workout tank top, V-neck, padded, sleeveless, backless crop tops with adjustable spaghetti strap. It is usually $24.99. It's currently on sale for $19.99 and it comes in a total of 5 different colors. And I got this once again in a small, I would say true to size. Out of all of the sports bras that I've purchased and been wearing, this is by far my favorite top/sports bra. So it's got a built-in shelf liner. I did take the cup pads out of this one. I don't like cup pads in general, but I find that this is compressive enough that I really don't have to worry about going anywhere. When I'm wearing sports bras or tank tops with built-in bras, my biggest thing that I want is compression. So I definitely like that. And I do find that the straps, even though they do rub still a little bit, they're nowhere near as bad as the other ones that I've tried on. And so I can wear this bra for an extended period of time without a whole bunch of discomfort. But I do think that the material lends itself to a little bit of chafing. I don't think I would run in this. I have tried to do a quick little jog, and that's kind of where I started to experience some discomfort was with the straps. They just kind of rub. So for low to medium impact activity, they're going to be perfect. This shirt, I feel like, is very flattering. It does hug the waist, and it has a little bit of detailed paneling right here on the side. So it just kind of cinches you in. If it wasn't for the straps, I would say this would be perfect to run in, but unfortunately it's just not. Unlike the other bra that I tried on, this is less of that like scuba material, but it is still a little bit thicker. Like there's just something about the quality difference in the material that you can tell it's just a little bit cheaper, but it still does hug and it still performs well. It is going to be a little bit on the warmer side just because of the kind of material that it is. But overall, I'm very satisfied with this top. I would probably give it, I would say, a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. There's just a few detail things that I would change. The biggest, once again, being the straps and the comfort factor when it comes to that. So on the back side, you have the crisscross straps that are adjustable. They can cut in if you do have larger lats. My lats aren't really huge. But if you have very defined lats, that's really where you're going to start struggling with a lot of these Amazon pieces. There is some cleavage there, but it doesn't show a lot because it does compress down. So that's a big plus. I don't like to feel like I'm spilling out of anything, and I am getting full coverage up to where my armpits are. I'm not spilling out the sides. That's one thing I will say about the first top, is that with a decent amount of movement, I do start to get a little bit of spillage out of the side. So these shorts I've probably worn more than any other item that I purchased from Amazon recently. These are the Impact shorts from Voyjoy. I got these in the 6-inch, and those have been super great because I'm not getting any rolling or anything like that when I'm working out. $19.99, but there's a coupon for $15.99, and they do have these in 38 different colorways. So quite a few options there. They have bright colors, they have dark colors. Something to keep in mind though is that it may not match whatever the top is that you are purchasing in the same purported color. Now with these shorts, it is the double-lined waistband, but I'm not getting a whole lot of compression. So if you want that contouring look, it's not going to totally do that, but it is sufficient to hold me in. There is some glute detailing, so I think it's flattering, but it's also not uncomfortable. So I don't have something totally riding up my butt crack, which I understand is very flattering, but sometimes it can get uncomfortable. And then there is that glute seam outline, but it's not so aggressive that you're having a huge panel where it's just very thin fabric and not really showing much. On the 6-inch shorts, they come down pretty far. You can get them in a shorter inseam though, if you would like. If you prefer that shorter inseam, it is offered. I'm pretty pleased with the quality of the Voyjoy pieces. When I first got them out of the package, I did try them on before washing, and I had a totally different opinion about the items, but they did relax a little bit after putting them through the wash cycle. So I think that's something to keep in mind, is the way they fit, the way they feel will drastically change after you wash them. And I would highly recommend, with especially some of these pieces, that you are more mindful of how you take care of them if you do want them to last. So really, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you found it informative. I will be back next week with another video. I am also thinking about pivoting my videos to more like less review style and more lifestyle content. So I'm not sure if that would be something that interests you guys. Certainly let me know. I do enjoy reviewing pieces, and I don't think I'll ever stop doing that, just because I think it's important to, wear these items, wear them out, and give you my honest thoughts, because not a lot of people are doing that. I feel like I enjoy doing a little fashion show most of the time. So I hope you all have a fantastic week. I hope many of you are enjoying this slightly warmer weather that we're getting, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.